vinyl community. Jason Basin here, back in the house, and I've prepared for you a very nice new video. 10 big impact bands. Yeah. Did you see my latest trip to Ghent, to the Vinyl Kitchen and also to other sellers? I could score really nice vinyls there, so check it out. Check also my other trips I did this month to Emmet, and then in the beginning of this month to Eupen, near the German border. Could also do very nice finds. But now we gonna talk about 10 big impact bands which had a very big impact on my music listening. So I started out in 1980, so 45 years ago, with vinyl collecting. In the beginning it were only little records because I didn't have money. The money came from my parents, especially my mother gave me some money weekly. So or in the beginning she didn't get money weekly. When we went somewhere where they had vinyls, I could get a vinyl. So the first vinyl I ever had that she bought me, that was in December 1980, I think, and we were in a big warehouse, and there they had also vinyl, vinyls and also little vinyls, and there I bought my very first 7-inch, The Police, the do-do-do, the da-da-da. Here was The Police. I cut it out and I made a badge from it. People who are subscribed to my channel know this story. I already told this story in another video. So subscribe to my channel and you won't miss a thing. You won't miss a thing. Here on A&M, it's very nice how they did it. The Police. Here you see the 3 members. Yesterday I saw on YouTube a special around the Police, and they were not the best friends. That surprised me, but on stage they were really one piece of energy. The Police, and I think in 1979, 1980 they were the best band in the world. So that do-do-do, da-da-da, that came from this very good album, Zenyatta Mondatta. But I didn't have it, just the 7-inch. Then we go to this record of the Police. My neighbor had it, and there I heard the other tracks, A Message in a Bottle, Walking on the Moon, very nice. The Police. So that was the first band who had really a big impact on me. Then the second band. When it came on the radio, I said wow, and it was something, it was always a new refreshing sound, that I must say, from those 10 bands that I'm gonna show you. Always it was that new refreshing sound. Also from this band. This was Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, OMD. This was my first ever long play that my mother bought me. She bought me this on the 2nd of February 82. But this album was already 2 years before, released in 1980. And as I could read today, Enola Gay, the single, progressed the album. So they brought it first out, Enola Gay. And this is also Enola Gay. I didn't have those 7 inches in the beginning at those times. I had just so the debut album, not the debut album, but this album, Organization of OMD, and it's a fantastic album. So second group that made a big impact. And then we go to that I will show you also. This album I had also from OMD, and on this one we find Souvenir. I find this the most beautiful instrumental of the 80s. OMD. And then we go to next band, and it's in fact a guy, but it was a band, Fat Gadget. Here we see the two 7-inches that I could lend from a friend. Then I took it home, and that was a new refreshing sound that came to me. This is on Mute Records, Mute 002. The first one was the normal and warm leatherette, and this was so Mute 002. Fat Gadget and Back to Nature and the Box, fantastic. And this was Make Room, and on the B side we have Lady Shave. Very nice. Fat Gadget put a big impact in the 80s with his albums. I saw him on the Seaside Festival in 1984, and it was fantastic. Fat Gadgets. And then a next band who had a big impact on me, the Dead Kennedys. I had this tape in God We Trust Incorporated, and that album had a big influence. I found it fantastic. It is a fantastic powerful punk band, the Dead Kennedys. I heard also once on the radio Holidays in Cambodia, also very nice. That guitar riff in Holidays in Cambodia, fantastic. And so some years ago I could finally get this mini album. On this album we have also Nazi Punk's Fuck Off, I think, is also here on this album. We have Rawhide, and we have, of course, We've Got a Bigger Problem Now. The Dead Kennedys. Show you the label on static. Dead Kennedys, big impact bands with the voices of Jello Biafra. And then a legendary new wave band now that made a big impact on me. It were the Simple Minds, and especially this track, I Travel. I think this was the first, one of the first things I had of Simple Minds, this 12-inch. Then of course I had also New Gold Dream of Simple Minds with a big hits, Glittering Prize, New Gold Dream, Promised You a Miracle, and Someone Somewhere in Summertime. For many people Simple Minds had a big impact on their musical lives. Also this album, I went with my little brother through the snow, kilometers and kilometers, to that shop to get then in '84 the new album of Simple Minds, the follow-up of New Gold Dream. This was Sparkle in the Rain. On Sparkle in the Rain, my favorite track is of course also Waterfront, and there is also Up on the Catwalk. Waterfront was released before the album in November '83, and the album came out I think February '84. So the Simple Minds, and still kicking the Simple Minds today. The Police, they don't exist anymore. OMD, still kicking. Fat Gadget, it's finished. The man is also dead. Dead Kennedys, I don't think if they are still active now, but Simple Minds, certainly they do. They just made a triple live album, that must be very good. And then another band that made a big impact, maybe the biggest impact of those 10 bands, were the Sisters of Mercy. This album, this 12-inch, is the first vinyl I had of the Sisters of Mercy, and here I put in the stamp. It was the 20th October 1984 when I bought this album, this 12-inch. I bought it in Bilbo, I still remember it, in Bruges. In Bruges, in the Bilbo, I bought this album, so more than 40 years ago. Fantastic Temple of Love, Hardland and Gimme Shelter, a cover of the Rolling Stones. And then the next record I had of Sisters of Mercy was this 12-inch, of course, Alice Floor Show Phantom and 1969, a cover they did from the Stooges. Really wonderful. This was 1983. In 1983 I got me also this one, the Reptile House EP, fantastic also, but it was a little bit more calm. I preferred more the heavy sounding Sisters of Mercy, but this is nevertheless also good. 1983, the Reptile House EP, Kiss Lights, Valentine, Fix and Burn. And then of course their the Bible of New Wave, I would call it, the Sisters of Mercy. They first ever long play, First and Last and Always. It's all their biggest hit, Marian, No Time to Cry. Here we see the band, and I show you the vinyl. Sisters of Mercy. Fantastic album. This album should be in everyone's collection, even if you are a heavy metal man. Get this, it's really nice lyrics. Then the Sisters of Mercy. Then we go to a band, legendary electronic band. They just now have stopped touring. They will never tour again, but their music will go on, and also all their videos, nice music videos. I'm talking about Front 242 from Belgium. This was my first ever Front 242 product. It was a single CD, and here this was a mini CD that was inside. In the early days of the CD they made it like this. So this is the back part of that single CD. I put in a picture of Front 242 there, but this was my first product of Front 242, Endless Riddance single CD. And then afterwards I got, of course, the Endless Riddance 12-inch, with controversy between Take One and Sample D. For me, the original version of Take One is my favorite Front 242 track. So and then Front 242, really a masterpiece of an album. This album I could score last year at the promo sales of Vinyl Kitchen. Check out now my latest video. There I show you my the things I could score this year. Also very nice vinyls I could score, but this one was really a very big surprise. This I could score for €2.50. Normally the value of this album is minimum €25, so I did a very good deal on that one. And then from 242, this was also a 12-inch that was very popular. This is not the real 12-inch I had. This is another one I found afterwards. It's not so in such a great condition, but I'm happy I have him. So with No Shuffle, Don't Crush, Funkadelic and Commando remix from 242. And then the next band is also from Belgium, which made a big impact on me. I'm talking about Aroma di Amore, the aroma of love. You can translate it like that. It's half Italian title, the group Aroma di Amore. And this was the record I bought of them. Zonder omzien, a track at one side, and at the other side we have 5 tracks. End of '87 they did a live concert, but that day I had proclamation in my school, and my parents said no, you must go to proclamation, so I missed that concert. But I have the poster of that concert. It was Friday 26th of June 1987, Aroma di Amore live in Café Casbah, but I missed it. I still think on that, but that's live. I never saw Aroma di Amore live. I just can see them live on YouTube. Aroma di Amore. I also knew this album, Koude Oorlog. Then I didn't have it, but the radio station where I worked had it. And there I have discovered a really nice track, Het Gesticht, from Aroma di Amore. This I could buy some years ago on a vinyl fair when I went to the Brabant Hallen in Leuven. Check out my video on my channel. There I found this one. It's a repress of Cold War, Koude Oorlog of Aroma di Amore. It was their debut album. So that band made really a big impact. From then on I followed a bit Aroma di Amore, but like I said, I never saw them live. That I regret a lot. And then we have already 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bands. Still 2 bands to go. Those bands I discovered more later on, after the new wave, let's say. Also when I was in university. We have The Doors here. The Doors. This is the live album, absolutely live. Fantastic. People who don't know The Doors, buy this one, the live album. He is fantastic, and a very good introduction to The Doors. Within the tracks he does some poems, Jim Morrison. It's fantastic. Fantastic album from The Doors. But from The Doors I had then I had also the vinyl, the first vinyl of The Doors. Here I have a CD, but I had the vinyl before, and there I really discovered the nice music of The Doors. Break On Through, Soul Kitchen, The Crystal Ship, and then the track Light My Fire. But Light My Fire, that I heard on the radio one day, and it's from there on that it ignited my love for The Doors. We have also I Looked At You, End of the Night, The End, legendary. So the debut album of the Doors, fantastic, should be in everyone's collection. It will be again in my collection, but it will take some time before I find one with a good price tag on it. The Doors. And then we close the show here also with a legendary band. They had a big impact. I discovered them when I was at university. The first record I had of them was this one, White Light, White Heat. I put it on, that White Light, White Heat, and I was blown away by the Velvet Underground. Fantastic. This was their second album, still with John Cale. From the third album on it was without John Cale, but here it was with John Cale, and certainly here on their debut album, where the Velvet Underground were making music with the singer Nico. So also an album that should be in everyone's record collection. I think here the most people of the vinyl community have this album in their collection. A real masterpiece. The opening track I adore, Sunday Morning. Also real nice is Venus in Furs with the violin of John Cale. We have also Run 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 and All Tomorrow's Parties. This band, it didn't sell well at the moment then when it came out in 1967, but the impact of the Velvet Underground, it's enormous on bands in America and also on bands in Europe. Their impact is enormous of the Velvet Underground, and they came with a refreshing sound. So all these bands, it was all refreshing. The Doors, Aroma di Amore, all in their time, from 242, Sisters of Mercy, Simple Minds, Dead Kennedys, Fat Gadget, OMD and the Police, all refreshing music in their time. And so this was my video. I hope you liked it. And which were your 10 bands that had a big influence on you? I had to make some choice here because first I had other bands in it, but I put them aside. I said no, I must be honest, which bands were really which had really an influence on me, big influence on me. So it were those 10 bands. So thanks for watching, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget, with vinyl the sun always shines. This was and will be Jason Basin, and you see and hear me in the next video. Bye bye.